Hello and welcome back to Simon's Rants and to another Scooby-Doo review. We finally made it, guys. This is the review that people have been asking me to do for years, and I ignored the requests because I insisted on going in chronological order with these movies, and so it's taken me this long to finally get to the 90s, but here we are in Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. For those of you who don't really know the history of Scooby-Doo and what was going on at the time, there had been a hiatus of Scooby-Doo related material because Don Messick, the original voice of Scooby-Doo, had passed away. There was also some issues with Casey Kasem no longer wanting to play the role of Shaggy because of disagreements between him and Warner Brothers. So after years of just nothing happening, Warner Brothers finally decided that they were going to restart the franchise with new voice actors replacing Don Messick and Casey Kasem, which was ridiculous to consider, but they finally had to do it. So they hired famous voice actor Billy West to take on the role as Shaggy and little-known Scott Innes to play Scooby. This movie is extremely nostalgic and considered to be the gold standard for people in my generation. Everybody seems to love this movie, for the most part. I am not particularly nostalgic for this movie. I didn't grow up watching it. I don't think I saw it until I was already in middle school, which was like a good 10 years after it came out. And I remember thinking it was good, but I don't have that connection for it that everybody else my age seems to. So we're going to watch it, and I'm going to be honest and see, is it as good as everybody says it is, or is it overhyped? This is Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. Let's watch it. I'm so excited. I'm honestly so excited for this. Well, immediately, the animation's actually good. It's been a while since Scooby-Doo animation has been this good. I'm gonna try and be polite. Because I know a lot of people don't care like I care. Billy West is a great voice actor. Doesn't have a good Shaggy. Scott Innes, who later took on the role after this for the next 3 direct-to-home video ones, and also did Scooby for all 4, they're just terrible. They really are. And I know, okay, so these movies, I mentioned, animation looks great. The feel of it is really good. I do appreciate a lot of what they're going for. And the other voice actors are all, I think, the original guys. And then Shaggy and Scooby just sound terrible. And I know, you gotta give, like, voice actors some leeway, because they're not gonna be the original characters. They're not gonna be the original voice actors. But, like, when I watch Matthew Lillard, I'm fine with it. I get it. He sounds different, but I accept that he sounds close enough. This version of Shaggy and Scooby is so painfully bad to me. I cannot stand how they sound. And if you need a reminder what they're supposed to sound like, I will edit that in here.
Wow, like a canine crime wave. 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready, and here I go. When you said, oh, you just weren't like kidding.
Pretty sneaky. But they can't fool your nose. Hey, buddy, don't hog all the hot sauce. And some good Cajun cooking. For some reason, I'm still starved.
It's like the ultimate dumbing down of a character voice. You're taking one small aspect of the voices and making it the entire thing. Shaggy sometimes talked up here a little bit. Sometimes. Because he had natural inflections as a character. But they took him and they made this his entire voice! That's not what Shaggy sounds like. And the problem is, so many people my age and younger, I hear them do a Shaggy impression and they do this. And it's terrible. And then Scooby also just sounds terrible. I don't know how these were the best options they had. I really don't.
Roll, Rada, roll better.
It's awful. And I will not apologize for thinking so. It is awful, and it makes these movies really hard to watch, even though they're actually pretty good. Back to the movie. Man, it's fun seeing Scooby-Doo with, like, high-quality animation. It's dynamic, it looks great, it's fun, it's energetic, yet not cheesy. It's amazing. Like, the money, the quality that this has. I think probably a hiatus was the best thing for Scooby-Doo at the time. They needed some time away to appreciate it and come back and do it right. And I think they did, even if Shaggy and Scooby sound terrible.
Like, it's Mr. Beeman, the real estate agent. Mr. Beeman?
Mr. Beeman? What universe does Scooby sound like that? It's like he just took the voice and put it on one bandwidth. Like, he was only allowed to have this much vocal range. And maybe that's all he could do, but it's like, listen to the original Scooby.
Scooby food? Yeah. I don't like rivalry food and
Frog? Where? That's right. Excuse me. Run and hide. Run, boy. Yuck.
Don Messick had so many different quirks. There were so many quirks about Scooby's voice. It was a real character, you know? And there was a range to the voice. In his, however, he just did not. Sounds terrible. Like, am I the only one that gets frustrated watching these movies? Like, I don't want to ruin the whole review here, and I'm gonna try and get it out of the way and then stop referencing it as much as I can moving forward, because I know these movies are high quality, and they're pretty good, actually. But it's a big issue when Shaggy and Scooby sound as bad as they do. They're bad! Can we just all agree it's objectively bad so I can move on with the rest of the review? Okay, deal.
He was printing millions of counterfeit dollars in the basement with his printing press. What we originally thought was mold was really green ink.
Who's she explaining it to? She's explaining it to the rest of Mystery Inc? Normally there's like a cop there or somebody that they're explaining it to. No, she's just like, I know you morons don't help solve these mysteries, so I'm gonna let you know what I figured out.
And that's how we solved the case of the moat monster, one of our most frightening mysteries.
Ooh, stories like that always give me the heebie-jeebies. Ooh!
This kind of feels racist. This kind of feels like bad taste.
That's why the gang went their separate ways.
It's funny that this like the same plot as Scooby-Doo, the live-action one. Why were they so obsessed with splitting up the gang? I guess it's like a reference to the fact that like they kind of did that in some of the versions of the TV show. Or maybe this was just like a test run to see how well this storyline would do so that they could do the live-action movie. It's just a weird thing that they did in both movies. I don't know why.
Got something, Scoob? No offense, old buddy, but I think your nose might be losing its touch. Pretty sneaky, but they can't fool your nose. That's right.
I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything.
Number 23, the Vampire Village. Got it. Number 24, the Creepy Clown Town. Got it. Number 25, Menace at Mummy Manor. Got it.
It just doesn't seem in character for any of these characters to be doing what they're doing. Velma running a bookstore, why? Because she's a nerd? She's like a genius. She should be like a scientist or something. Or writing books, maybe. Not selling them, that doesn't make any sense. And then Shaggy and Scooby, I know that there's food involved and that's why they're doing it, but working in law enforcement? Really? You think that's what Shaggy and Scooby would be doing voluntarily?
Is this everything?
Uh-huh.
Got the maps?
Yeah?
Are you sure you haven't forgotten anything?
Fred, what is with you? Yes, I'm sure.
Well then...
Surprise!
I do like that they feel like friends, you know, in this version. They've gone a long way in adding personality to Fred, Daphne, and Velma. So I appreciate that they not only have personality, but actually like each other, unlike the live-action movie.
I hope you don't mind, but I asked the gang to come along.
Oh, Freddie, this is the best birthday present ever. It'll be just like old times.
Well, worldwide.
Speaking of old times, look what I have for you, Scooby.
Was Scooby named after the snack? Or was he just so famous that he had a snack named after him? Or is it just a weird coincidence? Like in this universe, Scooby's a really popular name for dogs.
Mystery Inc. is back in business.
Another scary night, another spooky fright, and we just might be in danger.
So why did we break up? At least in the live-action movie, they hate each other, which I don't particularly like, as I alluded to. But it made sense why they broke up, because they hated each other. And this, they're like, oh man, I wish we were still all working together. But we're not. Like, if you think about it, we're 10 minutes into this plot. We didn't need to have them broken up. Nothing was added by doing that.
Bad guys in masks, mechanical claws, magnets, hologram projectors.
Just like the good old days.
Too much like the good old days. I've got a show to do. I need a real live ghost.
That's an oxymoron, Daff.
Doesn't anybody want a beignet?
Is this the first time Freddy was stupid? Have we talked about this before? There was like a progression in making Fred dumber and dumber and dumber as the years went on. And I feel like this is the first time I'm noticing he really is kind of stupid. Maybe not stupid, but he's goofy. He was stupid and goofy in a pup named Scooby-Doo, but he was a kid, so that was an excuse. I feel like this is the first time the adult version of Fred is kind of a moron.
I work as a chef in a house on Moon Sky Island, a house that really is haunted. If you want to check it out, you're welcome to come by. I'll be leaving as soon as I finish shopping.
Well, we'll think about it. Well, what do you think?
What do we have to lose? It's the best lead we've had all day.
And that Lena is kind of cute.
Fred.
I just meant she'd be real photogenic for our segment.
I punched up Moonscar Island on our research database.
Our research database? That's our van! You haven't been using that in a while. Surprised you still know the password.
Good timing, guys. Lena was just about to leave without us.
Oh, look, feminism. Daphne is driving. I guess that was a necessary thing to do.
Oh, Miss Lena, I see you brought you some company, eh?
Good old Jim Cummings. Man, there's great voice actors in this. Not all of them, but there are good ones in here, too. Where'd they all go? They all disappeared. Are they ghosts?
I didn't know you had a dog.
Dog? Where?
Yeah, because Scooby never knew he was a dog. What? He's not stupid. I mean, he is, a little bit. But Scooby is very aware that he's a dog. And if he's not, then why is he so attracted to various dogs throughout various TV shows? Is he just weird?
Gosh, I'd sure hate to get lost in here.
Well, way back there in the 1700s, pirates used this bayou to hide from the law. They knowed only a fool would come a-looking up in here.
That's Winnie the Pooh, by the way. Speaking of great voice actors replacing other great voice actors, Winnie the Pooh sounds phenomenal. Is he different? Yes, he's still great. And that's him.
Ragged redfish. Zoinks! Like that's the biggest catfish I've ever seen.
That's the biggest catfish I've ever seen. This is what Shaggy talks like all of the time. I said I was gonna stop talking about it, but I can't stop. Like, just show me any episode in the first 3 decades that Shaggy sounded like this all of the time. Had a very repetitive voice pattern. He's just a person. He talks like a person, okay? A hippie, but a person.
I got you, Scoob!
Hang on, guys!
Yikes!
Well, move. I know that there's alligators, but they can move. They'll find you, so you should move too.
Thanks, mister.
Should've let the gators eat you. I can't stand tourists.
Isn't that Mark Hamill? That's Mark Hamill. I feel like most of Mark Hamill's voices, I love Mark Hamill, but most of his voices are like instantly recognizable as him. If I hadn't known that was him, I don't know that I would have known.
This here's my hunting pig, Rojo.
Hunting pig?
He's a lot better than any hound dog. Can smell a catfish a mile away.
Ah, there's the Joker. I found the Joker in Mark Hamill's voice.
He think the bayou is his own private preserve. He don't like anybody being in it, no.
Like so we noticed. Suspicious character, eh, Velma?
Not really, actually. Seems like a pretty upstanding citizen. I love how they're setting up this character to be like a possible suspect. Like, oh, he's creepy and weird. Like, he just saved your life. I think he's pretty good.
Moonscar Island, dead ahead.
Wait, did you have to say dead? You're not gonna say it? What? That's exactly what Shaggy would say. Why did it? I thought you were gonna say it. That's why I said it. You didn't say it? Come on, Shaggy. You had one job.
Ready?
Love how she's just got 2 baguettes. Because, you know, that's what you buy when you go shopping. Every time. At least 1 baguette. What the hell are you driving over? There's no bumps. There's no bumps to do that over. Maybe Daphne shouldn't be driving. Maybe that's why they never let her drive before. She makes simple things look difficult. The animation is really good, though. Like, for a Scooby-Doo movie, this looks beautiful.
Lena wasn't kidding. This place is crawling with cats.
What? Rats!
Come back, Scoob!
Hey, you mutt!
He's not a dog. What do you...
Rats!
Scooby, leave them alone.
New favorite character. I love that cat. Cat that can talk for some reason. Then again, I mean, Scooby can talk. Then again, he's not a dog.
Who brought this dog?
Rug? Where?
It was so funny the first time. Thanks for doing it again.
Your house is simply beautiful, Ms. Lenoir. Isn't it, Fred?
Picture perfect. Just how old is it?
It has been in my family for generations.
I don't know. That definitely is a plantation house. And you've owned it for generations. What was your ancestors up to? Blonde hair, blue eyes, much?
You're welcome to look around, but you'll have to do something about your dog.
Dog? Where?
Like food always keeps Scooby occupied.
If it will keep him from chasing my cats, you're welcome to my kitchen.
Groovy! Come on, Scoob!
I mean, yeah, we just saw him now for the first time after all this time. He has been at that for a couple of minutes during that whole conversation, just staring at the broken pots going, the damn dog, the motherfucking dog, the playing the fucking shit, the dog! He's still not over it.
Smells great. It's gumbo, isn't it?
You do know your food.
Like we've traveled the world on our stomachs.
Like a snake, slithering around.
How long have you worked for me?
The guys!
Like that was some hot pepper.
With all the screaming, we thought you might have seen a ghost.
If we do, you'll be the first to know.
You'll be the first to know. Hey, Scoop. Yeah.
Come on, I dare you.
Roof first.
Not chicken, are you, old buddy, old pal?
You know, the live action movie had a whole thing about really hot peppers, too. They really were just copying themselves. Okay, see, this movie's kind of good. And by kind of, I mean it's actually, like, really good for a Scooby-Doo movie. Like, it's interesting. It's a plot that I care about in a Scooby-Doo movie. When has that ever happened before? Wow.
Here we are in Ms. Simone Lenoir's kitchen, where we've had our first encounter with the supernatural spirits of Moonscar Mansion. You can feel the chill in the air. Cut! Who opened a window?
I think this might be, yeah, I mean, this is the best Scooby-Doo movie I've reviewed so far, I think. The plot matters.
It's Velma! We've been levitated before, and there's always a magnet or wires somewhere.
No wires here, Fred.
Wow, a real case of levitation. This just gets better and better.
Maybe from where you're standing. Anybody want to try getting me down?
Sure thing. Come on, Scoob.
Shaggy doesn't seem too scared of the fact that Velma's levitating, but okay.
You can feel the chill in the air. Cut! Who opened a window? Play it again, Fred.
And don't zoom in for some reason in the middle.
It looks like a ghost.
It is the ghost of Morgan Moonscar. This is a portrait of Morgan McCrite. The moon-shaped scar is why he became better known as Morgan Moonscar.
That's him, all right. And he wants us out.
Like we'd be happy to get out.
A real pirate ghost. Fabulous. I can't thank you enough for opening your haunted house to us, Simone.
So, you're not going to heed Moonscar's threat?
Are you kidding? We don't scare that easily.
Like we do.
Hold on, okay. That's the other thing, too, that Shaggy does a lot more now. I know Shaggy would say like a lot, because that's what hippies did, and that's what they were making fun of. With this version and some other versions, I'm becoming Shaggy, apparently. They would make him say like all the time, man. And it's too much. He didn't say like that much.
Like.
Sometimes you just talk. Stop it.
Besides, it's probably just a hologram of some guy in a pirate suit.
Then why did it only show up on the tape?
That's the mystery.
But there's always a logical explanation for these things.
What's that?
Like there's a logical explanation for the growling in our stomachs. We're hungry, and we're gonna get some food to go.
Like, we're hungry, and we're gonna get some food to go! It's not Shaggy, dude.
Like, your turn, pal. Zoinks! Like, don't use my sandwich to wash it down.
I think this is where the movie is kind of like failing me, is like the humor aspect with Shaggy and Scooby. They just don't feel like themselves. So even though the rest of the movie is so much better than anything else we ever got from Scooby-Doo, the Shaggy and Scooby-Doo of it all just falls flat for me. And a big part of that is the voice actors, but it is just the feel in general where it just doesn't feel like them. It doesn't feel right. And I know it's just 2 of the 5 characters. It's not, you know, the whole movie. But it feels like it because it's Shaggy and Scooby. That's what we're watching it for, right? And so we're getting something that's really good that we don't typically get from Shaggy and Scooby-Doo. A mystery, frankly. An actual mystery, an actual plot. And I'm really grateful that we're getting that. But we're losing the most important thing in the process, which is disappointing and frustrating. But if you could put up with the pretty bad, frankly, Shaggy and Scooby, then it's a very good movie. I just got a shiver. Watching a Scooby-Doo movie, I got a shiver. See, like, that's good, though. Like, that's great. I love this. This is so good. He seems like a nice guy. I don't know why we have to run away from him screaming. That's awfully rude.
Blake, are we glad to see you?
What are you doing out here? Ruining more of my flower beds?
If you want to plant something, like there's a dead guy following us. Ugh, Red Roy.
Oh, incredible. Where?
That guy's voice acting is great.
Are you sure you saw a zombie?
Like we know a zombie when we see one.
Well, Romney.
And then we ran into him.
What were you doing out here?
Oh, there's too much. My job.
It's so good. It's so good.
This place gets more interesting by the minute.
But it is getting close to sunset, and the ferry doesn't run at night.
Like we do.
There we go. A good punchline from Shaggy. Ah, wordplay that I actually like. There we go. Shaggy said something I liked. We're getting there. We're getting there. This movie's winning me over more and more.
We have plenty of rooms. You could stay for the night.
I didn't even notice. This movie's nearly half over already. Once again, that's how you can tell it's good. Like, I'm just invested, dude. I'm like so invested that I'm starting to not notice how bad Billy West and Scott Innes are. That's impressive.
I'll start dinner.
Rimmer?
Renner? Damn it. I had it. I was there. And then they lost me.
Your room is this way, Fred.
Why did we just have a close-up of her cooch? Okay, animators. I ignored the upskirt that we tried to get on Velma. I ignored that. I was distracted by something else happening. That was blatant, though. Damn it, that got me too. It got me too. It did. I chuckled.
Woo!
Like, quit bothering the wildlife, buddy. Well, how do I look? Am I gonna turn a few heads or what?
Yeah, that one didn't get me. Like, this does kind of feel like an old school Scooby moment, but it's just too slow paced. Overall, the whole movie is so much more like, I don't know, movie feeling rather than a cartoon. It's paced like an actual movie, and it's almost a little artistic at times. And so that kind of messes up the pacing of the jokes, honestly. I think that's the problem. I think that's part of the problem.
Get away.
Like, who's that?
I don't know. Get away.
In the mirror, it's some Civil War guy.
Well, there's nothing in the mirror now, guys.
Wait a minute. There's something under this dust.
What? Excuse me.
That's okay, Scooby. Must have lost my eyeglass cleaning cloth. Oh, thanks, Scooby.
Yeah, the comedic timing, it's just... It's slow. It's too slow.
Property of Colonel Jackson T. Pettigrew, 8th Louisiana. That sounds like a Civil War regiment.
There were Confederate barracks on this island.
Maybe you guys saw something after all.
Like ghost pirates, ghost soldiers. What's next?
Dinner! Your dining room is beautiful, Simone.
Thank you, Daphne. But I'm afraid your dog will have to eat in the kitchen.
Dog? Where?
Aha! Shut up! Stop it, please, for the love of dog backwards.
Like, this is a lot quieter, buddy. And Lena even made us a special dish to go.
And I'm not scared at all of all the ghosts and zombies I've seen running around out here. For some reason. I guess it's because I'm eating. Makes sense, I guess. I don't know that Scooby-Doo was meant to be this cinematic, but I love it. Also, you were just drinking lake water in a bayou. You're gonna die, and it has nothing to do with the ghosts or zombies or cats. I see our runtime is running out, so we're like, we can't just keep making them appear one at a time. Now we're just gonna show all of them at once.
Now what?
I told you the huntings were just beginning.
If you ladies will excuse me.
Lena, get them some lanterns.
Not flashlights, that would be too convenient. We want to make it as creepy as possible. Make sure they swing a lot when you walk.
Shaggy! Scooby, where are you?
Scooby! Where are you? Also, what's new? And a pup named Scooby-Doo.
You're never around when these ghosts and zombies appear.
Yeah. Now, isn't that a coincidence?
Save your suspicions for later, guys. Right now, we have to find Scooby and Shaggy. I think we should split up.
Good idea.
I'll go with Bo.
Bad idea.
I'll go with Bo. I won't let him out of my sight.
Ooh. George Lucas probably loved that transition.
Why do you keep treating me like I'm a suspect?
Because you are? What?
Quicksand.
You could have just pointed and said quicksand. I get it. You got your point across, but you could have just been like, hey, don't step there. Instead, you're like, aha! Quicksand.
What is it?
Crawdad shells.
Well, I guess the guys liked your girlfriend's cooking too.
She's not my girlfriend, Daff. I just said I enjoy her cooking.
And your cooking sucks, by the way.
It's probably the gardener.
We'll just see about that. If this is a mask, Fred, it's a pretty darn good one.
Good one? It's the fakest, cheesiest mask I've ever seen.
Really? But it feels real.
How do you know what a zombie feels like?
It's the gardener.
No.
It's the fisherman. No. It's the ferryman.
Oh.
Maybe it's real.
If it was real, there would be bones, but point taken. This movie is not rated. So I don't know.
I told you it wasn't a mask.
It must be animatronic.
Oh.
Are zombies just naturally this comedic? I put the head on upside down just to prove a point, and I spin it all around. I'm so quirky.
And I suppose they're all animatronic too.
Well, it is a possibility, Daff.
You're not a skeptic, Fred. You're in denial.
Oh, this is fun. Like, this movie could scare children. Scooby-Doo never scared children before. Okay, maybe some really lame kids, but I'm pretty sure this was like the first time Scooby-Doo could have scared anybody. It's awesome.
The camera! It's quicksand!
The camera is not quicksand. The camera is in the quicksand. Two very different things, lady.
You hear the screeching of an owl, you hear the wind begin to howl. You know there's zombies on the prowl.
Alright, there we go. Chase scene with some funky music. Now we're Scooby-Doo! But instead of, you know, fun 1970s music, it's late 90s, early 2000s style pop-punk, which became the new thing. Not saying it's a bad thing, it's just a different thing. I prefer Simple Plan, personally, over whoever this is.
Zoinks! Like someone's been playing with dolls, Scoob. Ugh. Rolls.
Yeah, rolls. Why does Scooby just repeat shit? That's all he's good for in this movie. Hey, look, dolls. Yeah, rolls. Hey, look, ghosts. Yeah, roasts. Hey, look, a zombie. Yeah, zombie. That's all he does.
I finally got my story, and all the proof sank in quicksand.
Not again!
Hey, this one looks like Daphne's.
Hey!
Sorry, Fred.
Ow! Hey!
It's not my fault.
I would just start punching people and pretend I can't stop it. Man, I'm being controlled like crazy.
Huh? I wonder who made these dolls.
Come on! We've got to get to the house!
Look at me being invested again. I'm enjoying this movie despite everything. I'm enjoying it.
Lena!
Simone?
Flip it a couple more times. Maybe it'll work then.
It was a nightmare. Ms. Lenoir and I went outside to wait for you when we were attacked by these zombies.
No! Cats, actually.
We ran back to the house, and Ms. Lenoir opened the secret passageway. She said it was built during the Civil War to hide from Union soldiers, but the zombies came after us. They grabbed Ms. Lenoir and dragged her away.
This is way too much exposition. You're the bad guy. You're the bad guy. Too much explaining. You're the bad guy. Too much explaining. That's all that's left of her. We were too late. The mice just ate her. Like that.
Where are we? Looks to me like a place for voodoo rituals. But why don't we just ask Lena?
What are you talking about?
Her story about Simone getting dragged by zombies wasn't true. I saw the footprints of Simone's heels. She wasn't dragged. She walked down that tunnel.
Yeah, you still walked into the trap. Just because you knew it was a trap you're walking into.
So, that's where the cleaning cloth for my glasses went. Sorry I suspected you.
Apology accepted.
Oh, very pleasant. Now we're all gonna die!
The harvest moon will soon reach the midnight point on this moon dial, and then the ceremony will begin.
What ceremony?
You won't get away with this!
I've been getting away with it for 200 years.
That's a good mask. Great mask you got there, lady.
At least Scoop and Shaggy are still free.
Those two simpletons, we didn't even bother making wax dolls of them. A waste of time and magic wax.
What a convenient plot. That's terrible writing. They're too stupid for us to care about. It's not like they could overthrow us and ruin all of our plans. I'd like to see them be the heroes. Ha ha ha.
There's no time to waste.
I am happy to see y'all.
Oh my. Winnie the Pooh. It's quite angry looking. Oh, it's almost cat hour. Feline o'clock. Pussy time.
I was one of a group of settlers who made this island our home. We looked to our cat god for a bountiful harvest.
As you do. I was just trying to cut the bread so we could share it more easily. Hello, it is I, Cat God, here to bestow you with pussy power.
We became cat creatures and destroyed the pirates. Only afterwards did we discover that invoking the cat god's power had cursed us as well.
I mean, they turned you into werecats. You didn't realize that as you were slaughtering all the pirates?
Over the years, boats continued to come to our island. One was full of spice traders who started a pepper plantation. The plantation flourished.
At least until the harvest moon.
So wait, you only turn into cats once every harvest moon? What is harvest moon? Is that like once a month? Once a year? I don't know what a harvest moon is.
Sometimes it became necessary for Lena to lure outsiders back to the island.
Just like you lured us.
Not really. You were sitting around going, man, I wish there was a haunted house. And she's like, hey, I got one. That was on you. Really.
What's the matter? Cat got your tongue?
Get it? Cause I'm a cat. Just thought of that one. Off the top of the dome, really. Man, I've been thinking about doing some stand-up, some improv. You think I could do it? I think I could do it.
Come on, Scoob! Now's our chance!
Man, it'd be really good if we had some magical wax dolls of these guys now. Too bad we had to be stingy with the wax.
Like, what are you guys doing? Charades?
I know he sounded bad this whole movie, but he sounded bad in a different way for that. Like, what are you guys doing? Trains? Why did he say it like that?
I've had enough of that meddling dog!
Dog? Where?
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! You're a dog! You know you're a dog! So shut up! Very anime of you. Oh my god. Scooby-Doo, everyone. Well, okay. They were wax and they were melting, and then he stepped on them, so shouldn't he now have like a giant paw print on his face? Also, you're picking yourself up with your feet. First of all, you should smell feet. Like, it should be like overpowering how much feet you smell right now. But two, you should be floating into the air. Cartoon physics. Like, I get it, Scooby-Doo and all, but like this whole time we haven't really been doing cartoony stuff. Now's a weird time to start. He became a modern-day Cartoon Network character for a second there. Did you see that? He looked like what they animate them to look like now. What? What are the odds? That was so weird.
You're not the only ones who like playing with dolls.
Yeah, let's make it as silly and cartoony as possible now. It's not like we just had set up this whole movie to be like serious and dark and cool. Now let's make it silly and dumb.
Are you guys okay?
Well, good thing they just went back to normal. I'm glad that just undid itself. What are the odds of that?
Looks like your 9 lives are up.
Oh my god. Wow. Holy Disney, Batman.
So it's like, what's happening to them?
Their spirits have been avenged, Shaggy, so they can finally rest in peace.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
I can't believe all this.
And the police will never believe this story either.
Don't be so sure. I'm Detective Bone Neville.
Oh, of course you are. Why? You can't just be a dude. That would be silly.
Been working undercover, investigating the island disappearances.
I saw them turn into cat creatures once a month for the past 6 years, and I couldn't quite figure out what was going on. But now you guys solved it. Thank you so much.
Bo, Detective Neville, have you ever been on TV?
No, I don't want to go on TV saying, hey, guess what? Some zombies and some cats were fighting on this island. But they're not anymore, so don't bother checking. But just trust me, they were there. We're pretending none of this happened. You don't say anything, I don't say anything. Deal? Deal.
Where's Scooby?
Oh, we're leaving him behind. Isn't that right, Scoob? Yeah! I just figured I'm kind of over the whole owning a dog thing. Wrong? Where?
Rocky, rats, rikes.
You hear the screeching of an owl, you hear the wind begin to howl.
Boo! Alright, well, there you have it. That was Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. Now, let me be clear. The movie is very good. In a lot of ways, it really is. And I think it might honestly be, if you can ignore Shaggy and Scooby's voice acting, and even their humor not being quite right, maybe the best Scooby-Doo movie. That is a big ask. Ignoring the two most vital characters being wrong is a big ask. But the way that they take the mystery so seriously, the level of quality in the animation, the scares being legitimate, and all of the voice acting outside of those two characters being so well done, it's just a very high quality movie that just happens to be about Scooby. Now, the vibe is off, but part of that is intentional. I think they had to go super serious and super dark for Scooby-Doo because they were coming from the cheesiest point Scooby had ever been. So in order to come back into the middle, which they eventually did a few years later with What's New Scooby-Doo, which is, in my opinion, the closest we ever got back to the original series, we had to go all the way back to the other direction to then come back and meet in the middle with a happy medium. Scooby-Doo hadn't been taken seriously for a while for good reason, and this forced you to pay attention and say, hey look, it's worth taking seriously, it is serious, it's dark, it's brooding now, let me pay attention, and they needed that to get back the respect of people. Now, I don't think all Scooby-Doo movies should be this style, I really don't. But I think for what it is as a standalone thing, it was a really good thing. And I'm grateful for it because it led to a lot of good stuff. Are there problems with the movie? Yes, especially the voice acting of Shaggy and Scooby. But for the most part, it's actually very good. And I enjoyed it a lot somehow, despite, like I said, the two main characters being so wrong. So, yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by that. Like I said, I was kind of indifferent to it my whole life. Thought it was okay. And I'm coming away from it thinking it's actually pretty good. I really enjoyed it, despite how bad Shaggy and Scooby were, which I know, it's a huge thing to get the two main characters so wrong, but then still actually be pretty good. So, I liked it. I would probably honestly give it like a 7, which is the highest I think I've rated any Scooby-related thing other than the original show and the second iteration. It's good. It legitimately is. It's not the best version, but it's far, far, far from the worst. Much closer to the good side of things. So, I enjoyed it, actually. What do you guys think of it? Let me know in the comments below. And, of course, don't forget to like, share, and if you're new here, subscribe. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Wrong?